Hello and welcome to my channel Attila. In this video we are going to take a look at the future of Volodymyr Zelenskyy. He is the Ukrainian president. So obviously I've done many of these readings, so I think it might be worth to look at his. As you can see, the way I do these readings, that or the shuffling, that I let the cards to fall out. So we're going to, it's going to take a while sometimes it's faster. Anyway, in the description you're going to be able to jump to it. And if you're still with me, then welcome to my channel. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you think about Zelenskyy on a whole, or whatever kind of is going on. My god, that's a lot. But while I'm shuffling, I also want to kind of welcome you to check out my other videos. I have quite a few readings on political figures, also on Putin, but also on Trump, and many other ones, country predictions as well, that you can check out. And also, don't forget to check out and sign up for my channel, because I do regular readings that you can use on your day-to-day life. I have monthly readings in a money, career, finance, but also in a love and relationship perspective for each zodiac sign. And I can tell you, people keep coming back to me and telling me that, yes, whatever I predicted came true. So definitely don't forget to sign up. I also have some daily ones that you can also check out. But anyway, we're getting close to pretty much to the end of the shuffle. Now I only have one card, so I'm very curious to see what the cards are holding for Zelenskyy. All right, so okay, so we are ready to go. At the bottom of the deck, what we have here is the Two of Cups. So Two of Cups is a card that generally indicates a strong bond between two people. It is also a card that is all about agreements, commitments as well. So it can definitely indicate his relationship as well, but it can also indicate a contract. So maybe the peace treaties, maybe some kind of an agreement that it's kind of coming in, because on the core, the Two of Cups means that two parties are making a promise to each other that, okay, I'm not gonna do this, or we're gonna work together really greatly, or like when you kind of reconcile with somebody. So there's definitely some of that element here of which I'm kind of getting, maybe some kind of a peace treaty. But let's see what is the central message here. So the central message is the Fool card. The Fool is all about new chapters and new beginnings, which kind of shows that he might be going into a brand new path in terms of his career or any area of his life. Because practically what you kind of see on this card, somebody who is going into a brand new direction, taking a leap of faith, or maybe he's kind of giving a trust as well to something or somebody, because he's going into a brand new direction. We're going to see what are the surrounding cards, but generally this card indicates that you're kind of going into this new chapter with a lot of excitement. The first card of his reading is the Ten of Pentacles. So Ten of Pentacles, the first thing came to me was legacy. So I think he's definitely working on his legacy as in how he's going to be looked at in the Ukrainian history. Because this is all about creating a legacy, but also a very, very great card from the financial perspective. because practically this card is all about getting everything you want and more, and creating multi-generational wealth, and creating a wealth that you can pretty much live off of very comfortably. So obviously I'm not his accountant, so I don't know how his financials are, but this is an indication of a great family life. It's an indication of also a very stable financial background as well. Let me know if you know more about his financial background. The second card in his reading is the Judgment. So the Judgment is connected to a big decision, recognizing something, how to move forward, what should be your next step. So, for example, when you're kind of in this, when you're trying to find your path, and when you have the Judgment, you're practically able to realize, okay, this is the path I want to move forward. But also, this is a big decision, and rising from the ashes, and the other kind of theme that immediately comes to me is the cause and causation effect. So something here from the past is definitely coming back, or coming to a full circle as well in his life. Now, this can be the war with the conflict with Russia, because this is kind of like pretty much the energy where everybody is getting whatever they deserve. Now, whatever they deserve is not always whatever they want, but definitely an indication here that there's like a karmic cycle here that's coming to a full closure. But again, justice is also can be connected to the justice system, the legal system as well, and having some kind of a treaty as well, because when you kind of look at the Judgment, you can see that with the Two of Cups, there's definitely some kind of a promise, some kind of a justice or a decision that's being made that's gonna kind of help him to go into a brand new direction. Now we also have here the Five of Swords, which is for me the card of the war, because this is a card that kind of like, everybody is in it to win it. This is like the hardcore conflict when there's no communication, lack of collaboration. So I think that's definitely telling me here that I think this is the conflict with Russia that's kind of symbolizing this card, because this is kind of like, this card is always telling you, is it worth winning at all costs? Right? So is it worth winning whatever you're trying to get at all costs? And I think that's something that probably he will need to have to ask himself as he's kind of going through these peace negotiations, which obviously we have here. That's going to be a big question, because when you kind of look at this card, the Five of Swords is all about that, somebody is walking away as a loser, somebody is a winner, but even the winner is paying a very high price for the win. So very important to consider, what is the price he is willing to pay to achieve whatever he wants to achieve. Now let's see the continuation. The next card is the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is this card of analysis, evaluation, when you kind of put a lot of effort into something and you're kind of wondering, is it worth continuing? Am I able to get whatever I want? and also this is a card that kind of comes to a question of should I go into a different kind of direction? Very slow progress as a whole, like when you're kind of not seeing that something is coming to fruition. So what I'm kind of seeing here is, I think he's in very, very deep thought of whether this conflict is worth continuing, or is it worth for him to kind of win at all costs? And I think it's going to lead him to some kind of a realization when it comes to these treaties and these agreements. But it's going to make him to go into a new direction. Now we also have here the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands, what we need to know about him, that he's very fiery, like somebody who is very tempered. So I don't know if it is his personality, because obviously when you have a court card, it can be his personality, another person, or just the general energy of the card. But this is a card that kind of says, okay, let's get going. Let's get things done as soon as possible, because it's very goal oriented. But also, from a job perspective, it can also indicate that somebody who is actually way more successful than you would think. And in his case, he's been criticized a lot, because obviously he used to be a comedian, and I think this is a card that kind of tells us that he's actually way more successful than people might think in terms of whatever he's been able to achieve. But let's see what's going to be the final outcome of this reading. But before that, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's an indication that the reading helped you. And you can also help me to grow this channel to make sure that the message gets out to others as well. And don't forget about the comments. Let me know what you think about him. Let me know what you think in terms of the direction should be. But obviously be respectful to each other. The reading continues here with the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is a very, very interesting card for various things, and let me unfold it for you. First of all, it is somebody who's very smart, very vigilant, paying attention, curious, and obviously learning a lot. There's might be, he's probably learning the job on the job as a president of Ukraine. But also with the Page of Swords, as I said, he might be very vigilant in terms of looking at while he's trying to assess what's his next steps gonna be as well. Obviously, that's very clear. But also, it's not only curiosity what it comes with the Page of Swords. There's also gossip and spying as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of a gossip or spying activity. Well, you kind of, when you have an international conflict, whatever is happening between Russia and the Ukraine, there's definitely spying activity happening. So I'm not really surprised that this card it came out. But also there might be here some delays, right? Because especially when you kind of look at it with the Seven of Pentacles of slow progress, the Page of Swords can indicate that there are some delays in terms of communication and messages that kind of holds things up. But once you get the message, it's actually a good message. So there might be some good news coming in for him, but delayed. Now the next card in his reading is the Emperor, which is, he is definitely the Emperor of Ukraine. He is the leader of the country. So I think it kind of shows that he is definitely strategic. He is in control. He's in charge as well. I'm not sure if he's going to leave the presidency or not. I'm a little bit torn with that. I'm gonna be honest with you, because having the Emperor, it's a clear indication of his role and what he's trying to do, and but then kind of having that fool going into that other direction, it's very, very interesting. But it can also indicate that he's gonna take his presidency into a new direction as well. So now the next card is actually the Star card, which is beautiful for him, because this is a card of healing. This is a card of recovery, hope. I think hope's gonna kind of come back to him. I don't know, because you have here somebody who's a very fiery person, so maybe that's gonna bring him the hope back. I don't know if that's kind of Trump that's represented there, but all in all, the Star is all about wish fulfillment in terms of getting whatever you want, or even more. Now let's see what we have from this deck. So we have here the connected, high vibe tribe, network, rise up, get ahead, go up, collaboration, win-win. That kind of tells me that they're going to find a solution that's probably a win-win for both parties, right? Because the connections, I think the alliances will be playing a very, very big role. Like you have here that collaboration, I think, which is kind of like the solution for the Five of Swords. Now, very interesting to see the Phoenix, which is pretty much for me the Judgment card, rising from the ashes, new career, ambition, rebuild, inspire, spotlight, fire within. So he's definitely in the spotlight. That might be a new career here for him. Like, obviously people not going to stay in their job as presidents forever. So there might be some kind of a new area that he's going to go to. Then we also have the progress, slow but steady growth, take steps, persist, long-term, going swimmingly in the flow. Like for me, this progress is definitely slow and steady growth is pretty much this energy, what the Seven of Pentacles brings in. So I think he's going to be able to achieve something, whatever he's working on, but he needs to have patience. And well, we have here the abundance, which is for me pretty much the Ten of Pentacles. Fruits of your labor, harvest, extra cash, fulfilled, blessed, overflow, time is ripe. So I think he's going to be able to achieve something great overall. When you kind of look at here, you have here that Ten of Pentacles, and the star is something that you're wishing for. And then I think they're going to be able to make some kind of a peace agreement here that's going to help him to rise even better than where he is. But again, there's going to be a lot of evaluation that's going into that in terms of how much he has to give up and how much, whether he will have to fight for it at all costs. So that's all I have about President Zelenskyy. And let me know what you think in a comment, and I hope that you enjoyed this reading.